So all the guests of graduating fellows on these steps, please, and all graduates in the center. So for those of you who are walking in, the graduating fellows, we invite your guests to walk up when we call your name, to walk up with you on the stage. So all the guests go towards the center, somewhere around here, maybe back of the center. Have a seat. We are starting. We'll soon have a beautiful sunset. Not too much heat. It's my promise. The campus team people, the staff, everyone, I welcome you to come over to the amphitheater, have a seat. Subir Utvik needs a stole. Means sash. Yeah. And I think Kuber.
सभी को नमस्कार. Welcome. Namaste, Sara. It's a pleasure to have all of you here. My Is Gautam Bhan. I'm one of the faculty here at the Indian Institute for Human Settlements. And welcome with a very large round of applause the graduating class of 2022-23. So, this is very much their day and the day of their life pearls and friends and partners and family. So, please, a round of applause for everyone who has accompanied them here today. We have, by collective agreement, decided to give you 50% of the credit for all of their achievements. I tried for 70. They said you weren't that useful. So 50 is what has been granted. So that's the stake we could get you. We have a small tradition at IIHS, which I will ask all of you to do for a second. So if you'll bear with me and just stand. Don't worry, it's not that kind of tradition. Okay. We are a school about cities and villages and settlements, but more than anything, we are and always been a school about place, which means that for us, where you are in the world has always been an important place to understand where you came from, where you stand now, and where you will go tomorrow. But the tradition we have always had is to remember not just that past, but that present. So what we ask you to do is something very simple. Close your eyes. Don't worry, mini version, guys, mini version. Okay? Just close your eyes and with both of your feet, just lift them lightly and put them on the ground again. So you acknowledge this place, this campus, this city, this moment. And you pick up your right foot and you put down and you acknowledge your history, your birth, your native, your home, your belonging, whether it was where you were born or another place that you came to love, but that you acknowledge the fact that we are always in place, and place holds us, it gives us loyalty, it gives us a sense of meaning, and it reminds us that all the lives we live, we should leave the imprint of our lives on the places where we have walked. So with that wish that under your feet today, just press a little bit down so you imprint your footprint a bit on the grass or the concrete that you're standing on, so that it will remember that you were here and that it will remember you were here at this graduation ceremony of the 7th batch of the Urban Fellows Program. So now that you know where you are, please take your seat and we will begin. Okay. So folks, it is my pleasure to welcome you to, see Fasna, I didn't make you cry. My point. Okay. So it is a pleasure to welcome you to graduation. I want to say something. I was trained by anthropologists. So in a lineage to my teachers, I want to just remind you what graduation is. In life, it is very easy how you got here. So it's very important once in a while to stop, dress up, mark an occasion, believe in ritual, believe in a certain moment of ceremony, of recognition. Okay? Ritual and ceremony are not just about faith and religion. Ritual and ceremony belong to any kind of value system that you have. It may come to you from faith, it does not have to. It may come to you from friendship. It may come to you from cities. It may come to you from love. And one of the things about rituals is that it reminds us that our lives have meaning beyond the things we do and the things we produce and the money we earn. Rituals bind us together as a people, as culture. And there is a reason why graduation is one of the oldest rituals, predating most religious rituals, that has started in the oldest centers of learning throughout human history, to mark the acquisition of knowledge, to mark the acquisition of character, and in a sense, like the best kind of relays, to pass the baton on to a new generation that will lead so that we can follow. So ritual is not just about standing up and counting achievement. It is about marking presence and about remembering that life's tides needs a few moments where you remember where you took some turns and not others. Okay? So welcome to one of the oldest human rituals. Welcome to the ritual that celebrates knowledge and that celebrates life and experience. And it's one of the few rituals. In many Indian languages, the one I speak in Hindi, the word for yesterday and the word for tomorrow is the same. There's a lot of lesson for this, because rituals, the best ones, mark endings and beginnings. And no other ritual does this like graduation. So welcome again. It's my pleasure to start us off by introducing the director of IIHS, Arumar Revi, who will deliver the graduation address.
Welcome. Wonderful to see you folks here. I see that the faculty and staff has been very smart this time, and they're sitting in the shade again. For those of you who were here last year, we had a very interesting experience. We thought we would replicate it this year with having a storm. Fortunately, the storm has passed, and we have a lovely evening. The sun will set in about, we're a little late today. We kind of timed it carefully, but you guys came in a little late. It'll set in about 35 minutes or so. So this is kind of hopefully a perfect occasion. So as you graduate, the sun will set. The beginning of a new day will start. But before we start, I just wanted to thank a whole lot of people who've got us here. Obviously, the fellows, and their sort of family, extended friends, partners, etc. who are here. If you hadn't trusted us with the bulk of a year, we wouldn't be here, and nor would you. But many of my colleagues who've actually brought us here today, specifically, I think the most important teams that have helped us bring us here today, our admin team. I've got a little bit of a rustle here. Our admin team that's brought us here, and they've actually set up things so that if it rains even now, we can move across to another location and we can run things here. Our finance team, our legal team, and as you will see today, and you will celebrate with us, our media lab, which is very active. We are live streaming this event, so there are people across the country who are actually being able to see and participate in this process. We have many other teams that have sort of helped us get us here, but this year we've started a significant new journey. So we have our programs, we have the academic and the research program that has spent a lot of time with you. Some of you have the opportunity of working with my colleagues in the practice program, especially in the emergent processes, including in some of our largest implementation programs in Tamil Nadu. Many of you have had the opportunity of being there. And of course, we have people who you don't spend too much time with, but have been very important to us, the Urban Practitioners Program. And then, of course, some of you have had the opportunity of seeing our digital learning processes. So we have a digital blended learning program. So basically, very simply, especially for people who've not been through the program, we do 5 things at IIHS. We teach, or we enable people to learn more than teaching. We train. We're one of the largest institutions that work with working professionals. And as our alumni come through, they'll be able to understand and appreciate more the importance of working with people who are actually in the process of bringing policy and practice. We do research. And in fact, I think the wonderful thing over the last many years that we've been here is much of what we share with you comes from our research and our practice. We've become a fairly unique institution in which much of what you're engaged with, the questions that you come to us with, are engaged through questions of that we've engaged to as practitioners and researchers. So we teach, we train, we do research. We also do remarkable work on practice, which is quite important to us because it is from practice that we're able to try and change the world and change ourselves. And that's what distinguishes this institution from many other institutions in this country. And finally, we bring some of this together in digital learning products, which many of you who are not able to be here, some people who are online and otherwise, are able to access the work that we're doing. So like I said, we teach, we train, we do research, we are centrally about practice, and we also work on digital learning. Those are the 5 things that we do. Over the last year, some of you have seen the emergence of our schools. We have 5 schools, and the last many batches, 7 batches of you have not necessarily come through that, but we're hoping from next year onwards, people will experience the power of integrated knowledge in the 5 areas that we work in governance, in economic development, in human development, in urban systems and infrastructure, which you spent a fair amount of time in, and on environment and sustainability. So these are the 5 schools which are very unlike many other institutions in this country, which are organized by departments, by other ways of doing things. And the reason we've done that over the last many years is because that seems to be a very good way of trying to address the core challenges that you'll face when you go into practice or research or policy, or in some cases, as we found some fellows going actually into politics, because the world is not organized, at least much of this world is not organized according to discipline. It's organized into the way that people live and the way that they address particular challenges. So this is a new thing that we've seen over the last year. And I'd like to sort of thank all my colleagues, especially the people who are trying to build out the new schools, because that's a great new adventure for us just now. Because as you've heard, in the next year we're going to try a very interesting experiment. We're going to try and almost or actually double the size of the intake of the UFP. And people will come in and they will be more engaged with the sort of school framework. So first thing, wonderful to have you here. And many thanks to the people who got us here through a long period of time. Some of our colleagues who've been with us in the past are here again, and I think it's a wonderful thing to welcome you back as far as that's concerned. But having said that, I think this is a special year for us for a very simple reason. And especially because the alumni are here, we just had a conversation. This is the first time in IIHS history, we've been around for almost 15 years. This is the first time that the alumni actually have larger numbers than the staff and faculty in IIHS. Okay? So for us, that's a critical turning point, because the reason that we established this institution was to enable people to go out, especially younger people, and actually do dramatically different things. Yeah? And in some senses, like we said, some of you remember last year, the question is, who are we? Aapko yaad hai? Chaliye, boliye hamare saath. Somebody wants to do that for me? So, who are we? Little bit louder, folks. Who are we? Wonderful. What do we do? Wonderful. So why didn't you stand up and say that loudly? Good, loudly, loudly. Okay, let's do it again. Okay, let's do it again. हम कौन हैं? हम क्या करते हैं? What does that mean? In Kannada, can somebody do it for me in Kannada? Tamil, please. Can we have this in Tamil? Come on. Come on, stand. Come on. Okay, then while the people in Tamil Nadu are trying to figure out their life, let's do it in Malayalam, please. Come on, guys. Okay, Bangla. Now this is going to be a competition between the regions. Okay, let's see Aruna. Let's do it in Bangla. Wonderful. Tamil. Hey, what's happening, guys? We don't have too many people from Tamil, okay. Gujarati, Marathi. Stand louder. Louder, louder. Thank you. So, like I said, the key thing is, we're IIHS, we're here to transform India. And by transforming India, hopefully, when you become 10 times the number of people who are hiding on that side of the amphitheater, away from the sun and in the shade, then this country will change, and because this country will change, basically the world will change. It's a very simple idea, right? We're here to be able to transform this country and the people who live in it and the environments that we live in. And by doing that, we sort of basically, hopefully, and quickly in some senses change the world. So I guess, if you look at what we've done in the last 15 years or so, and I'll quickly lay it out for you because not all of you understand that, especially our guests. We're about 15 years old. Technically, at the end of the year, we'll be 15 years old. And we've done a few things. I think the thing that we're most proud of now is that we have a number of you, more of you than us, who've been in part of the process. But we've actually been able to do some very simple and significant things over time. So, just to speak to the question that Gautam started with, the question of the impact on people, on place and institutions. At the current point of time, there are very few institutions who, because of the people inside it, are actually reaching out. At the moment, we reach out to about 15 million people. Fine. If you add the work that we're doing in northern India, you add the work we're doing in Tamil Nadu, we're actually directly on a daily basis influencing the life of 15 million people, which basically means something of the order of about 3% of the urban population in this country. In about 2 years' time, we hope that number will touch 25 million. That, I think, is a very significant achievement for such a small number of people. There are only a few hundred of us. But because we've been able to work together, because we've adopted a particular way of doing things, and because we work really, really hard at this, in some senses, we've been able to achieve something which most academic institutions don't do. The second thing is, we work across every state in this country. Not all the union territories, I'm being careful here, but we work across every state in this country. And in effect, in the last many years, we touch now almost 1,000 urban local bodies across the country. There are about 8,000 of them, so there's still a way to go. Fine? So the large numbers of people, our engagement with various places that are there, it's not as deep and rich as we should be, and that is primarily constrained by the fact that there's so few of us. If there were 10 times we had imagined many years ago as the university would be established, we would have done that. Apart from that, our urban practitioners program has, over the last 10 years or more, trained almost 17,000 people, of which almost 1,000 of them are IIHS officers. So in our sense, strength of what we do is not only because of the numbers. Numbers are important, but actually quality of engagement is much more critical. So we're able to, again, through the tremendous efforts of my colleagues and you know, many other people who've been part of this process, reach out to a number of people across the country and work with them to try and make cities and other areas much more functional. That, you know, we function like a, you know, like an onion in some senses, or a bubble. The largest part of our bubble is the digital blended learning program. We have, in the last many years, we're touching almost 50,000 people who we touch that program. But in this case, not only in this country, about a third of them come from the country, a little bit more. We're touching people from across the world. So we've touched about 55,000 people through our digital products, and they're going to expand very, very quickly over time. So it's an organized and sort of somewhat orchestrated process. The largest bubble is our digital blended learning program, then the urban practitioners program that works within that, and further within that, our practice and active program, and finally, our face-to-face contact, the real ability for us to spend time with you so you can question and work with us and actually sort of transform and change the direction in which your own professional and personal lives would actually work in some sense. Apart from that, of course, we do a tremendous amount of research. We're one of the most significant research organizations that have been built in this country over the last decade or so. So you can see all of that in various places. It's important not because research is important. It is because knowledge that is relevant to this country, fine, and the problems that we're dealing with is important. And when we started, we actually did not have control over that knowledge. When we started 10, 12 years ago, one of the core questions is, or was, what can we teach that's relevant to now that does not belong to another country or another era? Because most academic institutions in this country work with knowledge that is 5, 10 years old. We have the advantage here literally of things actually happening on the ground in the last week, actually coming into our engagement, into our curriculum, into our process. You've had the wonderful experience, I would say, and I wish you would been able to have used it even more, but I hope in the next journey you can do that, of connecting with some of the most significant practitioners and researchers in this country. I mean, you can knock on the door, talk to them. You've always done that in office hours. You can do that even later. They're the people who are actually making the difference on the ground. And as you work with them, as you move from being fellows to becoming part of our entire journey as colleagues, that's the big thing that I think you're going to be, you know, seeing as far as it's concerned. So having said that, I mean, I should acknowledge the fact that the journey has not been easy, and this year has been a little bit more complicated than other years. You know that. So, you know. So in many ways, the journey of learning is always not easy, and we make it more difficult than most. We overload you, we take you to different experiences, we put you in very difficult circumstances. But more than that, I do want to acknowledge the difficulties. I mean, many batches have had other difficulties. The COVID batches had tremendous challenges, but the challenges that you've had in this particular year, we know what they are. Yeah, whatever, coming into places that are not places, coming into places where food is a challenge, internet is not working at all for many days, and you have assignments to be able to deal with, etc. But I mean, having said that, I think that the opportunity of being able to face these things and taking them with good humor in some senses, not getting completely riled about them, is in a sense a simulation of what you're going to be dealing with in your lives, because nothing is ever going to go according to plan. Things are going to go to hell. Even the people that you thought you could sort of depend on sometimes give up on you and don't deliver stuff as far as that's concerned. I also hope we haven't spoiled you too much with too much as far as too much time being able to provide bean bags where you can sleep in air-conditioned places, too much time in the evening where the library is always open for you as far as that's concerned, and of course some really wonderful food. Panchamji is sitting right at the back with our team that's there. I think that's one of the most important part of our program. So, I hope at the end of this, there would be some really useful things that you would remember and cherish, not only the stuff that happens in the classrooms and the immersion visits and stuff like that. But having said that, this is about, one of the other things that I'd like to share with you is, there are some things that you can do for us in return, fine? And this is going to be a little bit tough, but it's going to be quite interesting in some senses. So, in some ways, the faculty and the entire team here, we work pretty hard. Is that correct? Yeah? You've learned something from that? Okay, so we work pretty hard. That's one thing that we do quite well. Are we different? Yes? No? Yeah, we're a little bit different, yeah? Or sometimes we're really weirdly different. So we work quite hard, and we are quite different. That's one thing that's very, very clear, I think, about this team, and I think your colleagues who've come before you will actually sort of deal with that as far as they're concerned. This is where it gets a little tricky, and this is my discussion with my colleagues here, and that is, are we as good, or will we be, or will you be as good as we are where we are just now? The other way of asking that question is, are we as good as you are now? Where will you be 15 or 20 years from now? And I think this is an honest challenge for us, because we talk about this question of interdisciplinarity, bringing people together from different backgrounds that are there, and you people are actually remarkable people. We have few hundred, 500, 600, 700 people who apply for this program, 20 or 30 or 60 or 70 come through, which actually means that you are remarkable. You have a commitment towards doing something, otherwise we wouldn't let you through the door. I can tell you that. So that I have with my colleagues, are we really good enough as a faculty to be able to hold you and enable you to become much better than we are when you reach where we are just now? That's in a sense the great test for us, fine? Yeah, to find people who are remarkable and give them the opportunity, the strength, the courage, the self-confidence to actually not only change themselves, but to become much better than the people who help them become what they are just now. Fine? That's the next thing that's there. I think we have to think about it, and this is a very important part of our relationship with the alumni as we build themselves out, as we become larger than us in terms of number. And I guess the other question is, are we perfect? Are we not even good in some senses? And I would say we are not. Fine? And that's where I think all of you are be very critical to us. And that is, it is really important to us as an institution, to the mission that this institution is set out to do, is that you hold us, you hold the institution, you hold us to account in terms of where you think we should be going and what we should be going, and maintain the standards that we think we have set for you. Fine? And you can do that because you're going to go out into the world, you're going to do out really interesting things. Fine? Some of them are going to be difficult, some of them are going to be complex, etc. But we would like you to always look back at us and hold us to account to doing the right things, doing it the best that we can, so that other people can become and have experiences which are even better and more fulfilling than we have. So that, in a sense, is our request, our demand, our expectation of the alumni, and especially as the alumni build out, it is to be able to strengthen us, make us become better than we are just now, and in a sense build that out. And how will you do that? You'll do that as you transition from this process to further back on this side, by basically building the chapters, by engaging with the UFP in new forms as it will emerge. We will see that happening over time. And then in time, you know the rule here, you can't come back for 3 years. Fine. We have a very simple rule here. You can come back and spend time with us, but you can't come onto that side of the room for 3 years. Basically, for a very simple reason. We want you to find your own voice, your own agency as far as that's concerned. So we would really, look forward for you to come back at some point of time to work with us, to teach with us, to train with us, to actually work with us to take this mission into a much more significant space than it is. But having said that, I would sort of want to close with a few set of reflections. We are in a very difficult time, not only in this country, but in the world. Right? We're in the middle of a set of tremendous crises. We're in the middle of crisis. We're in the middle of very deep economic crisis, which doesn't show up, unfortunately, in the stock market. The stock market is the only thing that seems to be going up, while the economy is going down. We're in the throes of an extremely serious poverty crisis in this country. I've been working in this space for 40 years, and I haven't seen things become so bad, especially after COVID. So basically, our development system is not working. Our governance system, in some cases, is deeply fractured. So you're going to enter the world in a situation where many of the institutions that have been built over the last 60 or 70 years are in deep crisis. That's one thing. The second thing is we're in the middle of a very deep environmental crisis. We laughed the other day when we were talking about the fact that climate change would be here and things would move. But it's not only a question of environmental crisis. We're on the edge of a serious biodiversity crisis. And we know that if things die on this planet because of what we do, neither our food, nor our fuel, nor our water will actually come to us. This campus is the inverse of that process. This campus is about trying to bring all of those things together. And then on top of that, we have the AI revolution that's happening at the current point of time. So this, in a sense, is a Gutenberg moment. This may be like the equivalent of the Industrial Revolution. So at some senses, you can look at the world and say, everything is falling apart, fine? But when some of us look at it, we say, look, this is a time of great disruption. What better time to bring in people who understand what systems are, who understand how to work together, who understand how to work from multiple different perspectives to actually look at the system and make it change. So in some senses, this time is like absolutely tailor-made for people like you to walk onto the stage where everything is falling apart. You focus on making the changes that are different. You focus on making the changes that are actually going to transform the system we know is broken in many parts of the world and do something. So I'll close with just a few and hopefully aspirations for you. 4 or 5 things. The first thing is, it would be wonderful if instead of just choosing yourself and your profession and your discipline and the money that you might get and the jobs you might get, is first to choose planet. Fine. The second thing is to choose life, because without life, nothing else exists. We often forget that in practice. And in able to make that happen, you have to choose both people and community. That's what Ethan was dealing with. And in a sense, this is a sense of community that we have. These are choices that we make. These are values that we hold together as far as that's concerned. And when you choose people and community, for all of us, we have to choose both prosperity and peace. Because very often we set them up against each other, and this country is facing a very serious crisis as far as it's concerned, where we actually separate peace and prosperity from each other. In order to make that happen, we have to choose justice and equality. Without justice and equality, you cannot have peace, you cannot have prosperity, you can't have community, and eventually you will not have a people as far as that's concerned. So for many of us, we have chosen solidarity and service. Now, not all of us need to do that, but I think that's one way of looking at the world to enable these things to happen. And then in your own journey, you've learned the power of moving from criticality to proposition. Criticality is what most educational institutions give you, but we hope we've given you a little bit of spark in the space of proposition. But with that, you will find in the world, proposition does not work without struggle. And struggle does not work without actually having a hope that the world can become a different place. And you will find your place in that world, which is difficult full of strife and conflict and opportunity to actually make a difference. So having said that, I would say go well, change the world, and come back to us, changed every little thing on a daily basis. Every little thing that changes every day is actually going to make the big difference that in time, like we said, which will help transform yourselves, your community, your family, your extended family, your partners, your friends, and eventually the society and the culture that you live in. So thank you very much. It's been a pleasure having you here. And over to you folks to final celebrations.
Thank you so much, Aro. And now we come to the part of the ceremony. We give you the certificates. So when I read out your name, I request the graduating fellows to walk up the stage like this, receive the certificate, pause for your photograph because we have the camera people there, and walk down the other side back to your seat. And after everyone is done, of course, you are invited back on the stage for a group photo with your certificates and sashes. But if you have a guest or guests with you, we invite the guests to walk up with the graduating fellow and come up on the stage with them. So, without much further ado, we have Aishwarya Gupta. Aro.
Thanks, Abhay. Congratulations. Our certificates, if you notice, are in 3 languages. In keeping with the... Please.
A different mic.
Would either of you like to say something?
That's fine. I think it's a wonderful program, and all the best to everybody.
Thanks so much. It's a pleasure having you.
So for the fellows who are not here with us today, I request one of you to collect the certificates on their behalf. But they are with us, so we want them to be given a certificate. So the next is Anand. Anand A. So someone please collect his certificate for him. Them. I stand corrected.
Thank you. So you'll have to face that. Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you so much.
Next is Ananya Sharma.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Aniket Chauhan. Request someone to receive the certificate on Aniket's behalf.
You can just...
After Aniket, we have Anita Sharma. Request someone to collect on behalf of Anita.
Good. Thanks. Thanks.
Antara Gupta. And while you are up here, we would also love to hear from you. So Gautam will facilitate not just Antara, but everyone. So
It's too
Please
late.
say
You
a
can't
couple of
turn back now. Up
Yeah.
the ramp you go.
not putting you on the spot, but this is an open invite to everyone. While you are up here, anything you would
Thank
like
you.
to say? Yeah.
Got it.
You still have to go this.
This way. Antara Madhavne.
but not in the photo.
Good. Mike?
Now all of you all are shant, huh? Now.
Apurva Saini. Can someone please collect certificate for Apurva Saini? After this is Chaitanya Lodha.
हाथ करो.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, क्योंकि चैतन्य ने ये साल इतना आप लोगों के साथ एंजॉय किया है, मैं जानती हूँ उसका हर पल उसने मेरे साथ शेयर किया था, इसलिए आप सभी लोगों को दिल से बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
Chitra Nayar Rajendran. And your sister as well.
So joining UFP was not a very easy decision for me, and I think my mom played a huge role for me to, have come here and completed this. So this one's for her, actually. Yeah.
Thank you all. It's been a happy moment, and I know how much Chitra has appreciated all that's happening here. I hope she pursues this in her career. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Divya Davis.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. This is really a great place to learn, actually, and I'm very grateful to be a part of Urban Fellows program. And I'm really looking forward to what it takes, all the things I learned here. It's really a great experience to go through the program. It's a bunch of experience that I'll always cherish in my life. Thank you.
Just, I want to say thanks from my heart. Thank you.
Isha Gupta.
Hello. I am super delighted that my daughter was able to participate in this program, and my hearty congratulations to all of you fellows who have graduated this year.
Fasna. We want everyone to come up. Yes. The family. We will wait. Please come, please join us on the stage.
Hemant? Hemant? Are you there? Yeah, you can come in the clan.
ഹലോ ഇങ്ങനത്തെ ഫെലോഷിപ്പ് എനിക്ക് ഇത്രയും ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു അനുഭവം ഉണ്ടായിട്ടില്ല. എല്ലാവർക്കും ഉണ്ട് ഹൃദയംഗമായ നന്ദി.
I should say, yeah. See, I'm a linguistic anthropologist now, so we go for Malayalam. That's why my father told in Malayalam. All right, I'm so happy to stand here. I never thought that I'll get something huge from this place. As you know, this is not marketized that much, like the UFP. This is not a joke, I'm seriously saying. And I'm so happy that one of my biggest dream come true through UFP, which is I got a PhD admission at Binghamton University. For me, it's not a simple deal. It was a huge deal. And it came through UFP, I would say again. And I'm thankful to my entire family and my friend Hemant and the entire UFP people who accommodated me. Thank you so much. Gautam too.
Jamal.
So let me talk some words in Malayalam. എല്ലാവർക്കും നന്ദി. വെല്ലുവിളികളിലാണ് വിജയമുള്ളതെന്ന് കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ UFP എനിക്കൊരു വെല്ലുവിളിയായിരുന്നു. Before UFP, I only focused on my disadvantages. When I came here, I focused on my abilities. So that is the transition in my life. And my parents also wanted to come here, but they had some health issues. My elder brother is here, so I'm very happy.
Thank you, the whole IIHS team. I am also very, I have seen her transformation from where she was and where she is right now. And I'm also very pretty excited to watch and cherish what she's gonna achieve in the future. Thank you again, and all the best to all UFP fellows.
Wonderful.
Kashik Umashankar.
Okay. I just want to say thanks to these two guys who are the closest people in my life. And thanks to Shruti and my mom and dad who are not here. Yeah, it's a proud moment for me and I'm happy right now. So, thank you. Thanks so much.
Kavya Palavalasa. Yes, yes, brother also. I request someone to accept the certificate for Qazi Sharovar Hussain. Kisle Chaudhary. Kuber Batla. Lakting Mayurchon Moyeno. Manish. Manish. Over here. Okay.
Hi, this is something special. Like they have sent their son to a lot of place to study. This is first time they are witnessing this kind of an event. So this is special. Thank you.
Would you like to say something? Thank you.
Mansi Bhalera. Manveen Kaur. Dr. Manveen Kaur.
Yes, I'm left with no choice. So I feel a lot of emotions, nostalgia, meeting everybody after so long has been. So the two of us have been tearing up throughout the ceremony. But the emotion that I feel the most right now is gratefulness. I'm so grateful for IHS to, to bring to all of our lives. I think I speak for everybody here. Faculty who have turned into friends whom we can reach out to whenever we are in trouble, academic, non-academic, both. For friends who have become faculty. So it's a GIS expert reaching out to a doctor reaching out to a designer. And I think that that wouldn't have been possible in another space or another place. So I think it's also the infrastructure and the kind of safe space that IHS has provided us that, like, by the end of the fellowship, we have started to respectfully disagree with each other. And I've studied in like 3 or 4 places now, but respectful disagreement is very new. So I'm extremely grateful for that. Thank you.
Megha Javar.
So I wrote in my application essay that I'm a very confused person, and I wrote that IHS is as confused as me. I still stand by it, but I think I see a direction in that confusion now, post these 9 months. So thank you.
Megha Gautam Kshirsagar.
Uh, I always thanked to Baba Saheb. Because of him, I'm here. And Jai Bhim to all. Thank you. Jai Bhim!
Navya Chitte. Neha Ganpat Chegwan.
Okay, so Neha, who came here in August, would not take this mic. So, Um, I would want to thank my papa, my mummy, Rahul, my brother, my Mahu, my I, and everyone here, my mentors who I've met along the way. I'm because of all of you and the faculty here. I can see some of the faces. Hi. So thank you so much, and I think I'm out of words, so I'll stop. But thank you.
Neelkant Pujari.
ओके मनवीन का मैंने पूरा कर दिया ओके जैसे यही कहूँगा कि कहीं पे पानी अगर ठहर जाता है तो उस पानी को ठहरने से कोई मतलब नहीं होता क्योंकि पानी का स्वभाव होता है कि वो बहता रहे। तो मुझे पर्सनली मैं ऐसा कहूँगा कि मैं यहाँ पे आके जो पानी ठहरा हुआ है उसको एक बहाव मिल गया है। सो थैंक यू फॉर IIHS। और जो पहले दिन मैंने एक शेर कहा था IIHS के लिए वही कहूँगा कि तुम लिखो काली शाही से या नीली, तुम लिखो काली शाही से या नीली, ये IIHS की यादें सदा हरी रहेंगी। थैंक यू।
This place, IIHS, is one of the remarkable and wonderful place because I'm from TISS and I have heard this name from 2012. And I have also heard about Gautam Bhan, you know. And from Nilu, he said he's so wonderful person. And this is, this is one of the remarkable place. Thank you, IIHS.
Priyansh Hirudkar.
Yeah, so this is my first convocation. I have been part of many education institutions and this was my best experience. And I feel that UFP is a very subjective experience. It depends on which age group you belong to. So I really had the best time of my life. And my parents don't understand why I do what I do. This is my straight third course which doesn't have a placement. So it's really difficult to explain to my parents. But in this my journey, my friend Saransh was always there, and Sahi is not here, but Chandana is here. So I would like to thank her for introducing UFP to me, and I really had a fun experience, and I hope I entertained you all. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Ravina Rajesh Kamble.
First of all, Jai Bhim everyone. I would like to thank each and everyone in faculty, fellow, for being with me throughout this journey. Thank you so much.
And now the birthday girl Reshma R.
Hi, I just want to thank each and every person who has come here to make the day a memorable one. Thank you all.
Ritaj Kalaskar.
Just no speech, but thanks to everyone who's made the last 9 months memorable. Uh, Folks here, faculty, and everyone back home, and those who have made IIHS what it is. So thank you so much once again for these 9 months.
Ritvik Gupta.
I can't, I'm sorry.
Roshni R. Krishnan.
I am now remembering that days when I am filling my application. I was so confused. I was in a very stressful mood. Like I was not. I didn't know that I will go for the. I was actually completing my MSc, so I was in that time. But I am thanking all my friends in the Tirunelveli, Kerala, who supported me, and my parents who finally told me like you can do what you want. Yeah, that advice. Yeah, thank you all. Yeah, actually, thank you for choosing me, and thank you for giving me a space to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Thank you.
Rushali Rohira.
I came to UFP a very lost person and a very angry person, but I think I'm leaving feeling very satisfied and happy. So thank you, everyone. And also, I want to thank my parents because they've always supported me, even when things haven't gone their way. So thank you.
So I remember the first day when I'd come to Bangalore to leave her, and I was like, Roshali, nothing is going to happen. Aap wapas chalo. So we are from a typical Delhi businessman family, and to let your daughter go to a new town and a new space was a big challenge. But I'm super proud that I let her be what she wanted to do. And I'm thankful to each one of you and grateful for the hope that you are all going to change lives.
Now I request somebody to come up on the stage and receive the certificate on behalf of Shamlal. Sheetal Sangevar.
No, you can't.
It's good, na? Sound laughing. Okay, so I listen lot of people's what is their vision to come here. Some are talking about their fun and all. So mine is a very different thing. I we talk like 50% is parents and all, and 50% you contribute and all. So I feel ki because of failure I tried different places. I feel ki failure I learn a lot of from failure. I tried people lot of time talk with me and say I don't got this, I don't got this, but I have list how many people reject me. So that then I send the list and tell, see what is my list I not get here. And some people saying rejection is my right and all. So now I'm able to tell them ki no, your rejection is your learning and all. So I also want to talk. I am little bit emotional person and I deserve because I am human being. So, so convincing to parents here, it was very difficult to me. Today I talked with him and I said, I don't know how to go on all 9 months. It is very less time. And he said, why you are saying it is very difficult to us? And then I realized how difficult to send one from the town, the girl in Bangalore, city like a Bangalore, no language and all. And I am with him from yesterday, and he's like, so he's like, so not feeling like a mixing. So I feel first day I was came in Bangalore, I was like this only. So I found myself in him. So and other thing is Eklavya is one organization in Maharashtra who gives me a lot of strength. Sheetal, don't give up. Try this, try this. So it's because of them I am first generation learner in from the IIHS. So I thank you Raju Dada, Prashant Dada and all Eklavya friends, and a lot of time I cried front of the alumni. So thank you alumni. They guide me all the time. So my friends also, I got a very good bonding with the people. So my mom, I love her so much. My father too. But thank you all the faculty. Gautam, first day I cried. First day like first officer, I don't have any friends here, and he counted him as my friend. So I got more strength. So that is Divya also. I like she gives me that you can talk Marathi and all. I found faculty also making so much efforts to how to tell the students they can understand in Hindi and all. So thank you to about you makes my inferiority reduce. Sorry, I don't know. Like I believe in efforts, not in perfection. So thank you. I think I talk a lot, and I feel so much gratitude to stand here. Thank you. Yeah, speech.
Thank you.
Sneha.
Car is parked in a good location. No? Car is parked in a good location.
Yeah.
She had told me you need to leave early. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for coming.
It was
wonderful.
So glad you come.
Please watch your path.
This is for all the jokes. Hi, I'm Sneha. How dare you? Uh, also, it was great. Thanks. Amazing. You all are great. I don't know words. Bye. I'm a journalist, yes.
Vaishnavi Patil.
Oh, अच्छा लगा.
You're not.
You can go first and then.
Shut up. No, yeah, I came here expecting this to be like a place of fleeting memories, and I am glad to say that I found a family and a place to stay. So, yeah.
Right. Sorry. A lot of things had to go right for me to meet Vaishnavi, and shout out to UFP and IIHS for at least making the most important of those things happen, which is being in the same place or 10 kilometers of the same place. Thank you so much.
And Zakia Abbas.
All right, one big round of applause for the class of 2022-23. Stand and receive. Come on, guys, you can do better than this. One round of applause for the IHS class of 2022-23.
Congratulations to all the fellows of UFP batch 22-23. So I call upon folks from the class to come up to the stage and share your reflections. So who's doing it? So on behalf of the class,
who's feeling
someone?
shy today?
You are all up here. I think the ice is broken. There's no ice. We have a
Come on up.
beautiful evening. You can see a beautiful star up there. So come on up to the stage on behalf of the class. We don't have a class valedictorian. We have a few of you that always comes up here on behalf of the class. So it's an open stage, open call. Mic is yours.
What say, folks? Are you coming? All right.
So I don't know what I'm going to speak, but I'm pretty sure we are all here a family. Like, that's one thing that I really cherished, understood, because as you saw, my love for my mom for sure. And I did not meet her for a year almost, and you guys were here at that time. And not just you, there were faculties, there was Divya, Gautam, Sudeshna. And that's the family that I got to know. And it's a lovely people. I've come to academics a bit. It's the change in perspective that IIHS has brought for me. So I already come from a planning domain, which is related to urban, but then, oh my God, urban is so much more. And urban is not just in me, urban is in every one of you who are studying with me, who was teaching me, who was listening to me. And that gave me such a sense of humility and understanding that there's a big world out there, and we all are learning, and we all are learning from each other. I really thank the entire IIHS team, my fellows, the family, for providing this space and creating this space and co-creating this space and allowing us to learn and grow at the same time. And again, like there's different ages, there people are coming from different backgrounds, teachers are coming from different backgrounds, faculties, and it's just such a nice melting pot. Uh, I don't know what else to say, honestly. But yeah, it's a lovely place. Thank you.
Thanks, Chaitanya.
Anyone else wants a word, guys, or shall we go? Pat?
Why? Hi. I'm representing entire UFP. Yeah? So, but my name is Fasna. I would like to thank first because this is a little emotional. I remember the days I came here and the people taught us identity, research methods, economics, many things. I realized I can't do anything. Yeah, seriously. I was crying in front of Gautam and telling, Gautam, caste is not going anywhere. 1936, 2021, 2023, same. So, what? Why I'm doing this? At that time I was 23 years old. Now I'm 24 years old. See, do you think, can I change something? Why I'm learning? Many questions were there. And I could have had 2 kids. I'm just PG holder without no job, no money. Yeah. See, and I'm going to have a PhD soon. Again, one more kid. I don't know, will I get money? But we think we reform. Yeah. I think I reform by stepping out from my community and going to another place, keeping the mobility. But this is not a joke. We are going to do things. All of UFP people will going to do something. Otherwise, just like Aro said, we won't be here. Because the journey was not easy at all. First of all, stanza. But we won't blame stanza, but it's okay. But we had good food. What the hell? Yeah. So, why I'm telling is this. We all have an aim to do something in our life, but incrementally. Yeah. So, just like Aro said today, little by little. I'm so thankful that our 9 months was little by little hitting us on the, the things that's happening in the world and telling us you need to do things. Otherwise, same as you live or die. Seriously, I was feeling the same. And I remember the days I was cried, I was begging for PhD admission, but still I had a feeling that I got through, including UFP, that I won't give up. Whether I am coming from an OBC background, whether I am coming from a general background, what IIHS made in our head is, we got a feeling that it's not just what we are learning, it's also from where we are coming. What we, think through our head. Whenever I go for a project presentation, I get the emotional as well. I'm not going to present a, content. I'm also going to present the emotion I got through the presentation or the journey, that we got throughout our Practica too. Yeah. So, I don't know why you guys are laughing. This is all serious. Yeah. So I'm thanking everyone here, even I am blank in many places in my head. Thanking everyone to get the breeze right now here by thinking we have done something here. At least in our life, finding one path or two path or not path and standing, okay, we'll find some path. At least that. And thank you for our families, UFP faculties, UFP members, and the stanza, and the food. Yeah, that's it.
All right, folks. I'd now like to call Divya.
Just lovely to see all of you here. I'm here actually, Smita and I are here basically to say that a huge congratulations on behalf of all of us. Because I teach research methods, I was coding all the responses and all the reflections that were happening here. And lost and confused really did stand out. Hopefully that has reduced as you leave. But really we are here to say congratulations. Fly out, really happy, build a community of friends, colleagues that inspire you and whom you can inspire. And more importantly, we'd like to say now, welcome to the alumni network of IIHS. Being the alumni also gives you a lot of privileges, which you will be handed over at the dinner space. So that's it. Congratulations and fly high.
Yeah, just very quickly, okay, you'll be getting an alumni card today, which allows you to have access to IIHS and the library and so on. And of course, it's a continuation of your ID. Your alumni email account will be activated from Monday. So sorry to take away from the celebratory aspect of this, but a little bit of information for you. So this email ID stays with you forever. So we'll be maintaining that for you. So you'll have your alumni ID. So that's it from my side, administratively speaking. But welcome to the alumni community.
All right. Okay, folks, we're at time. So I'm going to take a couple of minutes and I'm going to close us out. Okay? So first of all, hearty congratulations to all of you. Okay? Very much so. I want to, on behalf of the faculty, just leave you with a few closing thoughts. I first want you to just take one last solid look around yourselves, because this set of people that you have built a collective with is the most important thing that you've done here. Everything else will be secondary, because we told you when you came in, there is no genius or brilliance or dictatorial power or sovereign king that changes the world. The world is changed not by strokes of mastery, but it is changed not just incrementally, but collectively. And to do that, you have to always build a community of practice. A lot of people have invoked the idea of family and of friendship. I think it's a very powerful way to be collective as humans. But I want to offer you a slightly different noun. Family bonds and holds you in particular ways. But I grew up as a gay person in India in the 90s. I was very suspicious of forms of family. Queer people, and I mean this in the sense of many people who don't quite have permission to fly as high as we'd like, have always had to find ways to believe that the bonds you create can be as powerful as the bonds of birth, and that the bonds of affection and trust and friendship can be as powerful as the bonds that demand loyalty, because that's the loyalty we've always had. I want you to believe in the community you have created. I want you to believe in the strength of bonds that come from intellectual comradeship, from respectful disagreement, from collective belief, from conflict and confluence, from struggle and from moments of unheralded, unfiltered joy. You will find many times in your life as you go on that you will find yourself unsure of where to head. You will find yourself unsure of what to do. The world will not reflect you back to yourselves. And you will try very hard and you will look in that mirror and you will say, I am enough. And you must. But you don't have to do it alone. The best thing that communities give us is mirrors that are slightly less lonely. Don't look in your own mirror. Do that. Look at each other as mirrors to yourselves. One of the greatest joys of friendship is not quite always needing to be the only place where you seek self-belief. And one of the greatest joys in the world is to see yourself through the eyes of someone who loves you and someone who respects you. Okay? We were never meant to be individual, isolated beings. We were always meant to find ourselves through each other. You have a deep opportunity to hold on to each other. But I will also say this to you. Adult life will do every damn possible thing to make this hard. Eh? So friendship, which feels so light, is hard work. It is the hardest work you ever do. But believe and take one thing from us, there is no work worth doing more. If you grow old with friends, you will always be safe. You will always be strong. You will always find your way. We don't teach, value, respect, accord, friendship as much as we should. Seek communities of practice. Don't seek heroism. Heroism is when collective systems have failed. Heroism is not a good thing. Heroism should not be required of people. Dignity should not require courage. It should be offered without condition. So don't think that to change the world you blaze paths. You collectively walk, you collectively make. That's the first thing that I want to leave you with. The second thing I want to leave you with is something I've been thinking about a long time, which is about the simultaneity of feelings of anger and feelings of joy. They're tricky, huh? There's a lot in the world to be angry about. There is a lot in the world you must be angry about. When I was in college, there used to be this email signature. If you're not outraged, you're not paying attention. Okay? That's what it used to say. But I've learned a lot from the alumni and classes that have gone through. And one thing I've learned is that anger is very hard to control. It's an incredible motivator, but it slips out of your hands very quickly. Because there is anger that comes at its root from compassion, from an anger at injustice. There is also an anger that comes at its root from fear. And in the world, you will feel both kinds of anger. The anger that comes from fear will eat you from the inside. You will not be able to direct it to change the world. The anger that comes, that even through it, at its heart, has a compassion for yourself and for a different kind of world, is the anger that moves revolutions. Be careful of the anger that comes from fear. Hold on to the anger that comes from compassion. And at the same time, and this is my plea to you, take joy as seriously as a battery as anger. Mountains have moved with people who believe in joy. Revolutions have begun with people who believe in joy. It is not only anger that can move you, so can joy. And joy is a movement that also lifts everyone along with you. It makes people want to move with you. think about that balance of anger and joy. The world can push you towards anger. Don't refuse it, but insist on holding your joy, collectively, individually. And if you can find, I always gave you one balance. Okay? And Antra gave me an incredible gift of a transliteration of empathy and rigor carved out. Empathy and rigor is the one balance we've asked you to hold. I want to give you another as you leave, a slightly trickier one, which is anger and joy. Remember which batteries you're tipping into when. Care for yourself as you go out to change the world. Your fight has to sustain, and it has to last long. And at the end, I will say to you what I have said to every batch that graduates this program. Okay? I wish you joy. I wish you anger. I wish you heartbreak. I wish you ecstasy, but I also wish you reason. I wish you utopias. I wish you rejections. But more than anything, I wish you place. I wish you a relationship with place so that where you stand remembers that you stood there. I wish that you fall in love with cities or towns or villages or mountains or rivers. I wish that you see that places are a kind of friendship that let you return to yourself. And I hope all the places that you find will always remember your name and give testimony that you led lives worth living. You should be astonishingly proud of yourself. You have fought very, very hard. And no matter what happens tomorrow, today, contra to what I just said, today you get to be heroes. That's what you look like from here. So be proud, look into your own mirror, turn left, turn right, and look into your other mirrors. And you remember who you are, and you remember where you came from. And then where you end up is entirely secondary. Go well, go happy, go joyously, and give yourself a very big round of applause and congratulations. Okay? And a much simpler task for you, now actually go to dinner in a non-metaphoric sense, just the actual sense. So folks, with that we conclude the graduation ceremonies of the class of 22-23. One last round of applause for the graduates. And we will be led. Oh, yes. So for the class, you're up here for photographs, please. Up, pose, stand.
So we'll go in this order. The graduating fellows come up, get your group photo. Then I request the alumni to join for a group photo with the alumni and the graduating class. And after that, maybe you can have your combination, graduating fellows with all the guests. Then we request the faculty, actually with the graduating fellows and alumni, to please come down on the stage and help us get a beautiful group